This video is brought to you by the FarmerKlein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at the Rainy Woods. But before that, this video is brought to you by Darren Manville and Northern Farm Sim. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Rainy Woods map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you some of the description. Welcome to the Rainy Woods. Here you'll find a lot of forest to cut down. There are 2 sell points to sell all in-game item products. New fill types in gravel, coal, sand, clay, iron, and dirt. There is an old abandoned mine in the west of the map, sand dunes in the southwest of the map for off-roading or placing something down there. This is mainly a forestry map, but you can start a farm here also. Hope you enjoy the map and have fun cutting trees. Let's go ahead and load into the map. We are going to be using the mods we typically use to take a look at maps. They are additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. I will tell you, if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find that the starting farm area is void of the farmhouse, but that is all that is missing. You do have your starting machinery in all play modes, and also in those alternate play modes, you do not own any land. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA itself. The PDA consists of 1 buyable farmland. And in new farmer mode, you own it at the start. In any alternate game mode, you can buy it for $83,886. So that is the entirety of the map. There are no fields on this map. So if you do want to do farming, you will have to create all of your fields. We do have, as the description said, all of our standard crops that are available to us in Farm Sim 22, as well as the 3 new crops added in the premium expansion. If we go up here and take a look at our farmland lease screen, well, you're going to find 1 entry because there is just a single farmland on this map. Total size of 419.43 hectares in size. And again, if you do not own this, you can buy it for $83,886. There's no reason to take a look at our field calculator screen because, well, there are no fields. In addition, there really isn't any need to take a look at the precision farming soil map, because 1, it's the generic soil map that comes with precision farming, and 2, there are no fields, so nothing is going to show up here if we do go ahead and expose the soil map. Taking a look at our crop counter, we do have the standard base game crop counter that's available to us in FS22. And if we take a look at our prices screen, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the base game crops. So if we do go and create fields and we do start doing farming on this map, we will be able to sell anything and everything that we can grow. In addition, we do have the ability to sell our animal outputs in eggs, wool, and milk, as well as our silage, hay, straw, and grass. So if we do want to get into animals and various silages, well, we have that capability as well. Taking a look down through our base game production items, we once again do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game production items. So if we do want to get into production, well, once we put down the production point, we'll be able to sell that output because this map has 0 productions built in. Now, one thing that we cannot do is we do not have the ability to buy bulk lime. We also do not have a stone crusher pre-placed on this map. So if we do play with stones enabled and we do start plowing up some fields, well, you will need to put down a stone crusher or have some other alternate way of getting rid of those stones. Now, we do have new fill types in coal, dirt, gravel, sand, clay, but there's a caveat to these because I don't know why they're here. During the flyover, we're going to take a look. There's an old mine, and I thought, okay, we're going to find these fill types sitting in the mine, right, in heaps that we can dig up and do something with because there's going to be production built into the map to do something with these fill types, but there isn't. There's no production. There's no placeables included with the map. These fill types are not on the ground for you to just dig up. I don't know why they're here. honestly. And we'll get more of that here in a little bit. With respect to our Platinum expansion productions, we do not have the ability to do any Platinum expansion production without putting down our own production and sell point. And then also, as we have seen with other maps, since the Premium expansion has dropped, we do have the ability to sell all of our Premium expansion productions and crops at a generic sell point in the storage barn. As far as our starting fleet, we have a primarily forestry focused starting fleet. Is all owned, none of it is leased, and it is all well maintained. We do not have any animals from the start. We do not have any contracts because we do not have any fields, and also we do not have any production chains. And then lastly, we do not have any collectibles. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting fleet. We start out with the MAN TGS 18500 4x4 semi. It's going to be paired up the SKS 301050 trailer. We have the Gens HEM 922 DQ Cobra hybrid. This is a self-propelled wood chipper. A nice piece of equipment to have here at the start. We also have the Rotney H21D tree harvester, Rotney F20D forwarder, and the MAN TGX 26640 log truck. We've got our Lizard 1986 pickup truck, as well as our Mahindra Retriever. We start out with the Stihl chainsaw. We have the drop deck from Load King as far as to transport our forestry equipment. And we have the Thunder Creek FST 990 fuel trailer. With respect to mods and DLCs, you will see that there are no custom vehicles or implements that are tied to this map. So we can't even buy like pallets or crates of these new Filltypes. Now we start out down here in the kind of sawmill area on the eastern side of the map. This is where we're going to find most of our starting fleet. We've got our MAN semi-truck here with our drop deck. We got our Retriever, or Mahindra. Our Rotney equipment is also over here. But we're just going to tab up to our pickup truck because this is basically our starting farm area. We have our fuel trailer. We have a fuel tank. And we have a farmhouse. That's it. This is our starting farm. And with respect to our starting farm, we can indeed sell all of these things, including the fence. We go into our farmhouse. We have our sleep trigger. We also have a wardrobe trigger. And like I said, we can sell this. We can also sell our fuel tank. And we can get rid of this fence should we so wish. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at build mode. And you are going to see that we do not have any custom buildings that are a part of this map. We also do not have any custom silos, silo extensions, containers, or tools. We do have the ability to put down our farmhouse if we wish to have another farmhouse somewhere else for $15,000. So I was thinking maybe, just maybe, we would have production for these new Filltypes. You know, for the coal, the sand, the clay, the iron, the dirt, etc. But if we take a look down here through our production, you're going to see we don't. There are no custom productions here. So unless I am mistaken, in somehow a premium expansion production that is going to take some of these Filltypes, which I don't think they do, you're going to need to bring in your own productions that accept those Filltypes. And on PC, I would say, okay, well, that probably isn't that big of a problem. But on console, I'm not really sure what mods out there exist that will take gravel, coal, sand, clay, iron, or dirt and do something with them. And then as we're going to see during the fly around portion of the map, I don't think there are any heaps, any predefined areas where we're going to find piled up these new ground Filltypes. Well, on PC, again, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because we have the terraforming mod, which is what I call the digging mod. which allows you to literally dig the ground and pull various fill types out of the ground. But console players don't have that. So other than forestry, I'm not really sure what those other fill types are going to be for, right? Other than logging, I'm not really sure what this map is going to fit. As far as greenhouses, orchards, and generators, all standard base game things. Animals, again, all standard base game things. Standard base game deco objects as well. And if we take a look at our ground textures, when it comes time to possibly build out our farm, we have our animal mud, we have asphalt, we have rock, we have dirt, we have forest ground, we have grass, we have our dry grass, another form of dry grass, we have gravel, gravel dust, we have gravel dust with more rocks in it, gravel with some grass in it, our moss, more moss ground gravel, then we have our dirt. We have all standard plants and standard trees. Just taking a look at these fill types. And we're going to jump back over to the sawmill. So I just want to jump into this retriever and drive around a little bit before we do our flyover. So here we have our log truck. Then this is going to be our sawmill sell point, our log sell point. Again, this map has no productions built in. So with respect to productions being built in or areas set aside for such, we could give the map a point, I think, with respect to areas set aside for production placement. There is some areas where you can just free place buildings, including down here at the sawmill. I would like to have seen some places already established with production in it, more forestry themed production, a sawmill and a carpentry shop at the minimum. But really, I mean, this map would have been prime to have placed the platinum production stuff down, or at least some of the platinum production stuff, because it is predominantly a forestry map, and the platinum productions is predominantly forestry themed. Like this entire building is just deco, right? Instead of this, we could have had an operational sawmill, an operational carpentry shop, whatever. We do have a sell point for wood chips back here, where we have our trailer and our self-propelled wood chipper. Our vehicle shop is going to be located on the other side of these trees. It's basically a little shack with a trigger. And let's go ahead and get another retriever just to see where that spawns. So this is the one we've been driving. And this is the new one that we bought. It's a pretty big area for new vehicles to spawn in at, that's for sure. This is the dealer trigger as far as buy, sell, trade, and repair. And repaint. And then if we come back down this road once again and go past our animal dealer, or not our animal dealer, our vehicle dealer, we will get to our animal dealer. So if you do want to put down animals, well, you have your animal dealer located right here. And then this is basically going to be, well, the buy everything sell point. Now, if you take a look at the PDA, right, everything is pretty much forest. This is a very much forestry themed map. So this is all forest. This is all forest. Here we have lightly forested sand dunes, but it's not really a sand fill type. It's just painted dirt. Okay, so this isn't even sand we can scoop up. And then here is the abandoned mine. And again, I was hoping like each of these little fingers would have one of the new unique fill types, but it's empty. And I don't understand what console players are going to do in order to get gravel, coal, sand, clay, iron, and dirt out of the ground. So we do have a main road that runs north to south here along the eastern edge of the map. Just to give the map a little bit of traffic. Now let's shoot over here into the forest. And we'll make our way over to the sand dunes and the mine itself. Now, while we do not have much of a starting farm, we can sell everything at that starting farm area, which is really just a farmhouse and the diesel tank. So we are going to be giving the map a full point with respect to the ability to customize your starting farm. And like I said, when we do a quick aerial overview, you will see that there is areas where you could kind of start lightly cleared out trees and put down some fields. Here is one of those little building zones. We got a cool little narrow hiking trail, maybe horse riding trail up through here a little bit. With respect to the ability to sell all our basic crops, animal outputs, and productions, we're going to be giving the map a full point as well, because we can indeed sell any crop that we can grow. We can sell all of the base game productions, as well as the premium expansion productions. And we do not take away points for lacking the ability to sell our platinum expansion productions. So over here we have our large sand dune area. And again, this is just painted dirt for the most part. We've got little splotches of grass here and there, little shrubs, little areas of trees. Other than that, we have a fairly large area here. So you could, in theory, clear this of trees and do a little farming in here. Because all you're going to have to do is hit create fields and go to town. With respect to buildings and ground textures using the new texturing technique, we are going to be giving the map a full point as well there, because the few buildings that this map does have, they're all FS22 caliber buildings, which means they all do make use of that new texturing technique, as did the ground textures. Over here to our left, we're about to dive down into the mine area. And again, maybe I just don't understand, because mining in Farm Sim is not something I have any remote interest in. But I do know that there is the terraforming mod And the terraforming mod will allow PC players to basically dig ground up, and they can define what fill type they dig out of the ground. So a PC player could use that to, in order, basically mine down here at the mine. Can I get under here? No. They can mine down here at the mine that way. But for console players, I don't know. I don't think you all have a way of doing any of that. Sorry. I don't think you have a way of doing any of that without having piles of that build type already existing for you to just scoop up off the ground. And we don't have that here. Like I said, I was really expecting as we would come down into here, and we've seen this before fairly recently on maps where we have large areas of just stone that's just heaped up. You come down with a bucket, assuming you have the land, you scoop it up and do whatever you want with it. And I was expecting to have heaps of these new fill types down here in the mine in each of these kind of little quadrants or little fingers, but we don't. They're all just dug out, you know, lightly grass covered areas. So love to know down in the comments below, what do you think of the map? I would like to have seen production that is making use of these new fill types. I'd like to have just seen heaps down here that you can scoop up and use in that production, because I think that's what's going to make those fill types functional for console players. Visually, the map looks great with respect to the number of trees. I think it performs well. Hopefully it performs well for lower end systems as well. Lastly, trigger and interactive areas being clearly marked. All the triggers that do exist, the few and the far between that do exist, they are all clearly marked. So we are going to give the map a full point there as well. So that is going to give this map, based on our scoring metric, a full 5 out of 5. I do not feel that this is the perfect map. It scores a perfect score, but I do feel that it is missing the things that I have pointed out. I'd like to have seen production actually built in, so the player doesn't have to put their own down, or that is related to forestry. I would like to have seen a production that is related to the new fill types that have been added. I would like to have seen heaps of those fill types down here in the abandoned mine, so console players can scoop and go and do things with those new fill types. But let's take to the skies and just quickly look around from above, because I do think that this map does have a lot of potential for folks that want to clear land, do some light farming, and kind of do a combination of forestry and farming. And I think once you see it from above, you'll have a better appreciation for that possibility on this map. So like I said, here we have a really large area, fairly sparsely planted with trees, right by the mine, right by the sand dune, that could be just cleared out and a nice sized farm laid out here with trees. Up here to the north, we have another area with some patches of trees that would be fairly easy to once again clear out. And then we have some dense forest on either side of that. Here we have some more dense mountainous areas, hilly areas, and this is where our starting farm area is, our little farmhouse and fuel, where we do have a little bit of hilly going on. We are now looking off to the east. You can see the sawmill off in the distance where the trees have not spawned in at. Here we have a cut through. Kind of a right-of-way cut through. Possibly plan to have, you know, utility lines come through here, or some other reason that this right-of-way has been cleared off. These utility lines that are running through, they do have collisions. So if you want to make use of this area, you will have to avoid the trees. Then we have our road. Then we have another kind of right-of-way right here, a little bit narrower, that runs right along the road. Then that is basically what we used when we were driving around looking at these sell points. So guys, that is going to do us for the Rainy Woods. I would like to know your all's thoughts once again related to this map. Here we have our dealer trigger. And again, we have our annual buy point and universal sell point there. The map's got a lot of potential, and I think if you are heavy into forestry and you enjoy doing forestry, then this map might be right up your aisle. Again, I'm a little confused on the gravel, coal, sand, clay, iron, and dirt fill types. I feel like that's maybe a kind of a red herring in piquing people's interest into the map. But unless I'm completely missing something here, I don't really know what console players are going to do with those new fill types, because I don't think those new fill types are readily available for console players, and it may be completely off base. If I am completely off base, let me know in the comments below, because I know you will. I know you will. Now, for PC players, there are mods out there that will allow them to get access to those fill types by just using those mods and digging up the ground itself. And until next time, happy farming.